Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Coronation Street's Jane Danson reveals crippling fear which left her too terrified to leave her house after she first rose to fame on the soap. Jane Danson was left too frightened to leave her home after rising to fame on Coronation Street. The actress, 45, first joined the soap as Leanne Battersby in 1997, with Leanne arriving in Weatherfield with her mother Janice, Vicky Entwistle, father Les, Bruce Jones, and sister Toya, Georgia Taylor. They were billed as a working-class family from hell, and their presence on the cobbles left many viewers unimpressed. Recalling her first days on the ITV serial, Jane said she was written to and accosted by viewers while out who would scold her for her character's on-screen behavior. Jane explained to the Mirror, "The street was in a very different place back then, with a small cast and long-established characters. Then this rough family came in behaving terribly and everyone hated them. People wrote to me all the time saying, 'We hate you. Leave our street.' I was just a girl from Barrie who'd done a few bits of acting, so as an 18-year-old that was a big shock. One day I was out at my local shops when an old woman hit me with her handbag and told me to turn that bloody music down because Leanne had been shaking the cobbles with her big boombox." Jane said she became too scared to leave her house and took extra care if she ever did. However, the star understands who fans of the soap acted the way they did, saying Coronation Street seemed like a real place to them at the time and her character Leanne was simply too gaudy for their liking. Meanwhile, Coronation Street favorite Helen Worth has signed a new one-year contract worth a whopping £250,000, according to reports. The soap legend, 73, who has played Gail Platt in the show since 1974, has been at the center of many explosive storylines. Corey has been suffering a rocky patch, a source told The Sun, following a drop in its Christmas viewing figures, which saw it fail to make it into the top 10 most viewed shows. But dedicated Helen, who is said to receive £2,500 per episode, has reportedly signed a new one-year deal and a boost for the soap. Helen is dedicated to the soap and is determined to help steer it through a rocky patch, the source said. The source went on to say that Helen is bonded to the character of Gail and is excited about the dramatic storylines to come over the next year. She still enjoys her work and seeing her castmates and crew every day, the source added. Mail Online contacted ITV and Helen's representatives for comment. The Platts have been a staple of the show for a long time, but viewings figures have declined. The Christmas Day episode was viewed by 2.6 million, down almost three-quarters from 10 years ago. In December, it was reported ITV bosses are discussing a major shakeup of its soaps which could see them screened first, or exclusively, through online streaming. The move has been prompted by declining viewing figures, forcing budget cuts to Coronation Street and Emmerdale, say ITV sources. Anxious bosses are desperately looking at how they can attract a new audience, as even their older viewers are watching less terrestrial TV in favor of streaming giants such as Netflix. An ITV insider said, "Soaps don't make as much advertising money as they used to. There are some chiefs looking enviously at all the consumer-themed documentaries Channel 5 makes and thinking that there could be better commercial opportunities in that kind of programming and using the slots allocated to the soaps for those." Emmerdale are losing viewers at a drop of around 10% on last year. Budgets have already been cut on both shows and it is hard to see how they can sustain so many episodes. Helen was awarded an MBE for services to drama at Windsor Castle in January 2023, largely down to playing Gail. Heading to the castle collect her honor, Helen couldn't contain her delight as she spoke to Prince William. She said, "To have had a job and one that I love, and to be able to work in it is quite extraordinary. And then to get an award for it is just the icing on the cake. I have a little time off to begin with, but I will walk in with my medal the day I do." There are quite a few medals scattered around the cast. They've all already been given them. I'm bringing up the rear really. Helen made her debut as a young Gail in the 1970s, and was soon followed by her despairing mother Audrey, played by Sue Nichols. In her nearly 50-year stint on the soap, she has been married 5 times, including Brian Tilsey, Christopher Quinton, who was tragically stabbed to death, and Martin Platt, Sean Wilson, one of the soap's long-serving characters. While she has been at the center of numerous hard-hitting storylines, including her daughter Sarah's, Tina O'Brien, teenage pregnancy, and the death of her fourth debt-ridden husband Joe McIntyre, Reese Dinsdale, during a failed life insurance scheme. One of Gail's most iconic moments came when she featured in a two-hander episode with her husband Richard Hillman, Brian Capron, in 2003, after learning that he was a serial killer. The famous episode, which featured a slew of one-liners, saw Richard confess he had killed several people on the cobbles, including Maxine Peacock. It all culminated in a famous 2003 episode when Richard attempted to end his own life and the Platts by driving their car into a canal, and he sadly drowned while the rest of them were rescued.